Joe Tipton provided an update on the recruitment of 2026 number one prospect Tyran Stokes. It's been considered a Kentucky lean, Dion. I believe you, me, Carter have all voiced our skepticism of whether or not he matriculates to Lexington. However, skepticism doesn't always get you somewhere in life, and this might be one of those cases where he just ends up staying in his home state. Seems like Pope has been on him for a while, devoting all the resources there. It's massive for Pope and his staff just to prove that they can land the big fish. Totally get the rationale behind that. However, Joe Tipton provided an update that even though he sees Kentucky still in the driver's seat, I don't want to put words in his mouth. He said Kentucky is still the school that he hears coming up the most, which I will add. Make sure you go read the article. Support On3, pay for their subscription. They do great work and give you all the intel you need. So, yeah, he still likes Kentucky, the position they're in. However, he did note that Stokes is still entertaining and engaging with other schools, which I love that terminology. Still entertaining, like he's hosting them for dinner, for maybe a board game night or something. Where are you at on this recruitment, Dion, and even Kentucky's chances?
It feels like he's going to Kentucky. I thought he was going to come out on his birthday, which I believe was this past Sunday. I thought he was going to come out on his birthday. I have been saying though, and Kentucky fans can hold me accountable for this. Like the Kansas thing does like play out in my head. It does check out. Like Tay Kinney wants him. Tay Kinney's been vocal about it. Why is Tay Kinney so vocal about it? It feels like there has to be some smoke there, but also it's Tay Kinney. He's selling his own water. So like maybe it's just Tay Kinney saying something, but it certainly feels like he's going to Kentucky. If you look at even the way Kentucky's recruiting, they're recruiting as if they already got Tyran Stokes, I feel like. Not that they're recruiting him any less, but the ancillary pieces feel like it's people that can play with Tyran,
Mhm.
not people that would take anything away from Tyran. So to me, it feels like that he's going to Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, even hashing that out, I know they're in hard for Cam Williams, and just the thought of that too as your your 3-4 duo, really enticing when you just factor in the skill, the ball handling, playmaking, shooting touch for Williams, just the brute force transition beast that Tyron Stokes is. He would be a key linchpin for this class. And I know that's the obvious. So he is the undisputed number one recruit. But yeah, I like what Kentucky could do if they land him and build around him and sort of form like an old school Kentucky Calipari class. I know maybe UK fans don't want to hear that, but I say that like you can rest assured you got Pope coaching them up now. You got Pope doing his film breakdowns, getting them for the pass ahead game and all of that he broke down for the fan base. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the Kansas smoke is real. Um, I mean, Tyron Stokes and Tay Kenny would be a fun duo as well, with like a little bit of volatility that like has maybe Kansas fans are ready for that to end, but the volatility. But Bill Self, like it just seems like this final career push he's making. He's willing to take a chance on some of the guys who are a little insane, have a little bit of that psycho nature to them, and hope that he can rein it in. And maybe it works out better this time than it did with like the AJ Stores and Hunter Dickinsons of the world. I will say these two both have way more raw talent than either of those, so you could see it working out. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems to me if I'm a Kentucky fan, I'm definitely looking for Bill Self over my shoulder because even since landing Kenny, they're just it seems like they get a commitment now every other week. It seems like there's some mojo back there for the Kansas program.
Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too? Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is. There definitely is, and it's one of those things where like if Bill Self wants somebody, you kind of feel like he's going to get that
Mhm.
player, right? So, um, I don't know. I definitely think it's a situation where if you are, if you're going against Kansas, you want to be cautious. But like I said, Pope is moving as if he already got Tyran.
Yeah.
Now I have questioned Pope's feel for this recruiting class, but I believe Pope's getting this one. I
Yeah.
believe Pope's getting this one. He's too good at what he does, man. The Kentucky fans can be upset at me for some of my takes, and I definitely don't blame them for that. But like, I've also been adamant for about a year now. If we're discussing coaches for the next 10 years, my dialogue starts with Mark Pope. And that has not changed even with him choosing to fight and take Kenny's bathroom, um, which was crazy.
Only for him and Louisville to both lose them to Bill Self. Bill Self has done this already. So that is again like don't get too comfortable, Kentucky fans, even though you're in a good spot.
Never get too comfortable with Bill Self lurking. Because
Facts.
I said this about Shire too. Shire and Self send assistants. Once the two of them say, hey, by the way, like, you guys can stay home. I got this one. Know that recruitment's over. You go ahead and know that one's over. Once John Shire's like, I'll pick the phone up this time. Yeah, that thing's done.
Yeah.
Once Bill Self is like, I'll pick the phone up this time. Yeah, that one's over. So yeah, I still think he goes to Kentucky though. I think Pope winds up with him. I think Pope winds up with my personal favorite prospect, St. Anketa too.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, that'd be quite the class, especially if you factor in it. They're still in it for Ron, still in it for Cam Williams. Yeah, this to me, it feels like, we've speculated so much on this recruitment. We've made a lot of jokes at Stokes' expense. We have accused him of attention seeking, which when you're the number one recruit and there's no one really threatening you, I guess it makes sense. This is starting to feel like almost old school recruiting, even pre NIL, where like the top three, top five recruits would let it drag on a little bit, even when they knew where they were going, just to continue to build some hype. The Stokes family, the camp, I mean, Gia said this, we've echoed it. They know how to get eyeballs on them. They know how to make things interesting. They know how to play fan bases. Maybe this whole like still engaging and entertaining is just part of it. A lot of times when a favor emerges like this, and I get with NIL, things can flip on a dime and change super quickly. I don't know if they can change super quickly with Kentucky because I think Kentucky has the money to get it over the finish line. So yeah, I have officially changed my prediction from USC to Oregon now to Kentucky, and I'm rocking with Kentucky till they see this through.